Oh man, I got the music way down. Why did no one tell me? All right, now it's got to come down to more pedestrian levels, or people are going to be really mad when I hit the transition button. It means to start the show, which looks kind of like this. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. It's the Sunday night live stream. Sunday night because the New Orleans Saints play. For those that don't know, during the week, I like to watch American sports, and I choose the holy day of Sunday to do that, and that's what I spend my Sunday doing, watching the New Orleans Saints, watching Tampa blow a 17-point lead, watching the wild ending of the New England Patriots loss. And yeah, that's it. That's actually all I've really gotten to take a look at. So I missed the snow game. Going to go back and watch that. And I did see good pieces of the World Cup, which is good. World Cup. Who didn't watch the the ending of the World Cup? It makes me want to be a fan. I think it made me. I think it converted me. So we'll see. Today we were playing on server 92, playing on server 20, and just hanging out with you and all the crew. So how is everybody doing today? Last man over Renee. I am in the Golden Bagels. Golden Bagels is actually one that I started here on the server, and we've actually got 3 in the family, but each is led by an independent group because I don't have time to run one alliance, let alone 3. So the Golden Bagels, Silver Bagels, and then the Fighters of Bagel, or the family. So yeah. So we got, I didn't really realize I had that many. A lot of alliances. Anyway, yeah, we've got several alliances now. If y'all want to come play on server 92, there's no pressure. Like, don't feel like you have to, but we're having a good time. You went to the Bills game? Yikes. I couldn't. It's too cold. Like, the Buffalo Bills are playing in sub-freezing temperatures. It's snowing outside. I couldn't go to the game. But watching them seems amazing. You like the name Rev Rudolph or the Golden Bagel? Because Rev Rudolph, all-day spirit, right here. This ginger nose. 2 more shifts till Christmas shutdown. When's Christmas shutdown for you? Because I am looking forward to 1 week from now. I'm not going to even look at y'all. No offense. I'm not looking at y'all at all. Y'all can message me, Rev, I'm locked out of my account. Don't care. It's Christmas. Don't care at all. It's Christmas. Sucks to be you. Should have dropped a 7-day shield you probably don't have. That's the one day I'm probably not going to respond to y'all. But I love y'all. I'm glad you're here tonight. And hopefully you're enjoying the game, going through the grind and whatever it is you enjoy. And right now I'm doing exploring because you start on a new server and you don't know where anything's at. It's actually kind of annoying. Got Steve's over 52. How you doing? And got your 5th doc. Congrats, Uznit. The one thing I can say about here when I jumped on this new account this past month is, oh my goodness, the warp times are so crazy. I had forgotten about that. And then only having 2 docs is just, so I've got my main account up. So like if I hide this, well, my main account is available. It is there. I've been doing all my stuff today on it. I did do my anomalous phenomenon. I finished my swarm Sunday. My dailies are done. I did the battle pass and everything. So yeah, that was cool. That was gravy. And I've been kind of going through here, but man, the warp speeds, everything are killer. It's killer. It is nice though. Somebody mentioned the event store. I didn't start scoring loot until a few days ago, and I've already got Miles O'Brien up to 20. So pretty big deal. And then field training is amazing down here. Field training is amazing. You like the event store? I feel like there's mixed feelings on the event store. There's some people who want things that aren't there, like they're used to the ISS jelly being in there. And the trade-off is you got the other 4-star ships in there. I don't know if that was like an intentional trade-off or that's just how they're doing a test run, which they make that reasoning all the time. Oh, we're doing a test run. So that was a bunch of tutorial experiences. Are you happy? I can say this. To me, The start of the game now is ridiculously fun. I mean, we've been having a blast here early on. You progress very smoothly. If you can complete your battle pass, like even if at like level 10, you just start doing the battle pass. Like today, I collected this one and I've now started 2 prime. So I got prime defense really quick. You progress really fast early on. Like I am very much half A-wording it. I'm very much half A-wording it right now in that I'm not putting a ton of pressure to level up. And I'm level 12, ready for level 13. Like I'm not really rushing. I'm just naturally, it's pushing me up. I mean, I'm going to hit level 20 in under a month, like not trying to level, like not taking advantage of my knowledge, trying to level, just naturally playing the game. And Merry Christmas, Blue Dog. Good to see you. Always good to see you, my friend. About to pour me some Diet Coke and be judged by everybody in the chat. Explore and intercept strike teams from this event. I'm not complaining about it at all. Yeah, I mean, for me, my personal choice is I'm not going after the strike team to level them up or anything like that. But that's just honestly because I find more value in the PvE stuff, like the Armada officers. But yeah, it's getting the strike team. You're going, as soon as you put them on your boat, it's a difference. It makes a big difference. Oh, Rastruce telling jokes. Rastruce says, Merry Christmas. Enjoy your week off. Bro, if Christmas fell on like a Tuesday, you'd still get a Rev Deuce video on Tuesday. So no, I'm not taking the week off at all. I have a mortgage. I have 3 kids that are beautiful and I love them. I'm working, but I will take the Christmas day off. I'll take the Christmas day off. Started a second count 2 days ago and I'm up 7 E-tips for level 43 starting again. Resist, the biggest thing that I can say is use all your Latinum mode standard recruits, because remember, if you're on a new account, and I really do love starting the game over, I'll say this way, it makes you appreciate, you enjoy the game when you start over because it's so different. But because you've got a condensed recruit box down here with the standards and everything that you could take advantage of before the cadets get added. So it gives you a chance to kind of semi-spam for Chin. It's like right now, I'm going to blow, if you can get to it, blow all the Latinum you get, even if it only gets you a few more pulls, because it's a better chance of you getting Chin. And of course, that time I'm trying to make this point. I didn't get any. But that's just an option. Now, how do you get Latinum is easy. If you're my level by 12, you've got 2 away teams running, and the away teams you get are only like 4, 8, and 12-hour away teams, constantly running away teams. And I hit criticals on this. And it might only be like 10 at a time, but it does help out. A second way to help you get Latinum at a low level is a 24-hour chest. I've already pulled from it, but that can give you some if you get a good RNG pull on that. And if you've got the second 24-hour chest, because it says you got 3 Latinum from a 10-minute chest. If you got the second 24-hour chest from being an online player, like you made a Scopely ID, that can help as well. So like I haven't spent a dime. You see, I don't even have the second build or second anything yet, but I had already gotten, 400 Latinum I could blow. Gala is also useful. Gala is. I don't know how much I'll focus on her early on, but she is super useful. Imax says a question about assaults. So we are high 30s, low 40s alliance, having a hard time finding the meta crew for assault. So many officers don't fire like Khan, Cisco, O'Brien. So Imac, with assaults, we have found that the only officers that work are non-specific officers. So if it says armadas or it says players, etc., it's not going to work. 5 of 11's captain's ability works, but not the officer ability, stuff like that. I will say that assaults at your level are really hard, and I wouldn't really encourage you to do them, to be honest with you, because you're not really getting anything out of it. But in terms of crewing, you want to use generic officers in terms of officers that don't mention specific things. Like if our new officers have come out, we avoid them. Now, the obvious choice, if you have them, the new assault officers that came out this month work. Now, this is going back to like your original officer sets though. You want to talk about 5 of 11, the Trinity officers, Marcus, Sharvin, and Kang, those 3 work. You can use for example, like a Kirk, Spock, Khan crew. So all those things are available, but not some of the newer stuff. Like you're not going to run Cisco and everything on there. Add something to the use all your Latinum for officers. Keep enough Latinum to buy ship parts in common, crystal, or gas. As soon as you get the Fender, you can upgrade tier 4 level 20. So I'm keeping my Fender at tier 3 understanding that. We see I'm already mining 2-star ore. I already can do the basic refineries every day. But I'd say even that is paying out high amounts. And the reason I say that, like, normally I would agree with you, Hugo, but they've quickened the economy so much. Like, you just look at the steps that I've taken on this new account. So today I got 600 common 2-star gas and 100 uncommon, just free battle pass track. You know, your third one, which is the smallest, I got 200. So it really is like Platinum can be freed up completely for officer usage now because of how they speed up the economy. Yeah, Mac, and I'm not trying to sound negative. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, burn Scopely down over assaults. It's just, I don't think many people are enjoying the mechanic. And if you are enjoying the mechanic, tell us, like, are you enjoying assaults? But even the higher level players who that's more built towards, I've not talked to and them say that they're enjoying it. Exactly 0. So like the amount that I'm getting now in just a free battle pass used to take us months to go through. So that's where I'm like, if I'm going to remake in Simon, yes, there are multiple reports of assaults breaking accounts. So those have been put in. They're looking into it. Well, been reported. I haven't talked to them about it. Chris, I'll grab that in just a second. Let me finish a couple of these because I want to answer all the questions that I can. But when it comes down to like how they've addressed the economy as a low level, it's definitely pushed. Like, I'm gonna get in the 20s, and when I tell y'all that I can hit level 34 in 6 months, no problem, I definitely can. And this is, again, this is just doing daily stuff. So Hugo, who's a huge numbers guy that we've worked with before, he'll tell you that, you know, just the Latinum here is, if you're playing at a normal pace, it would have taken you, when I started the game, months to get this without rating at like 15. This pays for the combat prime immediately. Like, there are level 14s running around with Fendras that are almost 20,000 power. These are all the points I'm making. So like, a new account has been expedited greatly in terms of how quickly it progresses. And I'm not doing ticket events. I'm actually saving tickets for when I level up for more important things. This is just completing low end stuff. Like, look at the payouts for the assignment hunter. You're getting regular amounts of Ketracel. Not like a reduced, like, oh, you're getting 1/10 the amount of rev at 42. You're getting same style stuff. And then you got like the hostile hunt that I've got to do. They give me some easy objectives to complete, or at least a grindable objective. So you're actually included in the game down there. And if you want to see what tickets and stuff pay out, so here's like the mining ticket, more Ketracel, same amounts, and officer charge. So even to an extent, officer progression is a little bit easier, but very small amount. Not enough for me to say like it's good, but it is definitely different than even a year ago when I jumped in and was doing this a year ago. Chris, thank you for the super chat. I love the winter packs. I need more of them. I bought the tier 6, or I bought the 6 they would let me. Went from I was 44 to 46 in 10 minutes. First of all, thank you for donating to the channel. If anybody wants to donate, here is the link. I just dropped it in the chat if you want to support me. Real quick, because I've not bought them, let me switch my screens back to server 20 so everybody can see what you're talking about when you talk about the winter packs. Because I will say, if you are listening and are a spender, you don't have to spend in this game, but if you're a spender, these truly are fantastic value packs. So the winter special ship pack is honestly one that I've considered buying. I haven't, but like for me, but I tested this, for anybody who's about to say anything, I've tested this on both new servers and legacy servers. So everybody's getting a good deal. Everybody's getting a good deal. Everybody is. G-Naz, good to see you. But anyway, great pack. It's honestly about twice as much as my normal packs of this style would be, which would be an interceptor pack there. And the research pack is still very quality. Now, I would say that the battle pass for me, right at, you know, some similar numbers in terms of like the dilithium and everything, but like, look at these crystal, 15,000. I want to show y'all my treasury because I've not opened it. I didn't buy the treasury. 15,000 uncommon. We know treasuries are about 150% of a normal pack. 10,000. So the winter special is truly a fantastic value. I mean, they are great to buy if you're willing to spend. Now, if you're not, well, chill out. Don't worry about it. No big deal. If you are willing to spend, I would encourage you to check out those packs for Christmas. All right, let me see if I can. Probably not going to qualify here. Is there another one I can launch? Because I've got, oh, somebody launched that rare. Is there another rare? Nope, just uncommons. All right, I'll just go attend them. But let me hop back. But yeah, anyway, what I was making, if y'all got those as a really good value, and it's really rare for us to like be able to say, yeah, dude, it's a great value, and that happens to be. Prime for the 350% hull, any good? So the 350% hull bonus is noticeable, even with today's research and everything. Is it a pure 350? What I mean by that is, if you've got 1 million hull health, will you add on 3.5 million? No, you will not. That is not how it works. It's additive to all the other bonuses and research that you have. So for example, your hull bonus on a enterprise is 300%. You just be adding 350 to that. You've also got a couple of researches, and then you've got the Bajoran favors now. So yes, it is good. And yes, it does add up because you don't have as many researches and stuff like you do for damage, but you're not going to get a pure 350 increase. I always try to make that kind of well known, but you will notice an immediate uptick and an immediate value. Real curious, what's this tourist at? That one's still low. Oh yeah, everybody's got jellyfish now because the jellyfish are in the store. No, Pax, it's still math. It's just like all of it actually math right. It works off a concept called base, and it's gaming math. It's not just Scopely math. Put it that way. Just adding everything together. I do agree that how it works could be better explained in game because it's not explained in game at all. I think that could definitely be better. If you have any idea if the salvage refits will be sourced again at some point, they will be, and happy holidays to you as well. I do not have a date for you, but I was told that they will come back in terms of being sourced. It's not a one-off. They're not gone forever. And like, if you didn't get them through espionage, they're not going to be locked away and you're never going to touch them. So, and yes, by the way, we are on server 92 right now, Josh. This is the one in the background is 92, but we've been hopping between 92 and 20. If you saved our directives for Solar Armada events tomorrow, I have got on my main account. I don't have it in the background, so don't nobody say anything something cheesy. But I think I've got 900 saved up, and I'm actually just going to do my pull here in a second. Do I have enough? I've got to go do my hostile exchange, but I'm good to go. Should be. And I've got several rares because I don't run rares really ever yet. So yeah, I'm good to go. Thank you for asking. Little feedback to pass on the Overlords. This is the first Arc store I can remember where projectiles and cloaks you already have showed up. I do agree that that is annoying and could potentially lead to somebody accidentally spinning what they should. Hey, Kevin. Or our alliance just randomly talking about whatever. You like my shirt? Where did I get this? To be honest, I think my wife bought this. Normally, I will go to like JCPenney or Ross or Kohl's or a store like that. There's also a website all the kids use that I actually have been shopping from lately called Shein. That's how I pronounce it. I just call it Shein. Shein. Those are basically the only places that I get close. Is there any way to get the warp interlock for a second meridian? No. Wait. Yes. There is. Yes. Territory. Fast fashion with Rev. Yes. Wrong one. Territory. Yeah, territory store. Right here. I knew it because I remember fighting so hard to get this. The one that you can't get a second for without the event store is the Fisha interlock and another Franklin A one if you wanted two of those. But yeah, you can get both of the ones for the Meridian in the territory tab if you go to like your store button or your recruit button. Thank y'all for denoting that because I almost slipped up, but I remembered at the last second. Oh, I'm going to launch this. Launch. Here we go. All right, back over server 92. Territory sorting through your alliance menu. You can also go that way. I generally just click the claim button, and then I'll scroll at the bottom. But that works. That works as well. And I'm glad that you like our taste. Do you know if the event store have any more of those rewards, such as the Armada ones that is only open for a few days? They do not tell us ahead of time on those. At least they haven't for the past 2. I guess I could try to ask. But honestly, I'm not going to hear back from them until tomorrow anyway. And then tomorrow is going to be we'll be going over a lot with customer support and the community managers about the assaults issue that me and DJ have been reporting. I know the official moderator's been reporting as well, where some accounts, like if you do a back-to-back assault, some of the accounts are entering a corrupted state, whatever that means, and getting locked out, and then customer support has to unlock it for them. So pretty nice and fun feature. Noted. Yeah. I'm a new player in Ops 24. I'm heavily leaning Romulan. Do I farm Vidar or focus on the Legionary? So when you mean farm Vidar, what do you mean? Are you talking about in your event store currency? 100% go for the Vidar. The Legionary isn't really needed, but it is fine to pick up at level 26. It's mostly useful for scrapping later on, but you can use it effectively. I would say if you're talking about event store, 100% go for the Vidar. The Vidar is far more important for your long-term gameplay. It is the primary sourcing of faction credits, independent credits, and not that the Legionary isn't useful later on. Like I said, you will use it for a mechanic called scrapping. But in terms of what to focus on, getting the Vidar is way more important and integral to your long-term and short-term gameplay. So 100% go after the Vidar. So called an FYI, neither the Vidar nor the Legionary can be done this way, but a lot of ship blueprints can actually be farmed by fighting hostiles. So for example, a common tactic that a lot of people have done for a long time is you'll go up to like this capital system that that's Andoria. See, with my baby account, I haven't visited any of these. Is Andoria, is this it? No, it's too large. Is it this it? Okay, so it's like the capital systems, these big level 60 ones in our normal faction space. You can attack those hostiles, the regular traders and the heavies, and they can drop blueprints to the Kelvin or the Pylum or the Katinga. So people will farm those, or they'll farm like a level 32 system, and maybe they're farming for Gladius or Bortus or Intrepid BPs. So you can actually farm by grinding some ships, but not all ships. Not all ships. Jawa, which is more valuable, Prime 350 shields or hull boost? It's not even close, Jawa. It's the hull boost. Hull boost is far more valuable to your gameplay. If you just said, hey, I'm going to buy a Prime, what gets you more bang for your buck? 100% the answer is the hull health. Most of the things that you do in game don't take out your shields. For example, your regular hostile grinding, if you are using Pipe Road Chen or Picard Beverly Chen or Strange New World, Pike, Spock, Jayla versus Swarms, your shields are generally never going down anyway. Now, it can help a little bit more in PvP, having those shields up another round or two. And I'm not saying it's not viable, but in terms of what helps you every day and is more impactful, the hull one, 100%. Strong recommend doing that strategy if you're willing to spend the $100. If not, no big deal. That's what's more valuable to me. Ron says, is Sol the best place to grind for Newton BPs? The answer is no, because what they did, what would y'all say some of the older players I remember, was about 6 to 12 months, maybe I think closer to 12 months, or no, actually closer to 6 months. Somebody remind me, who was, especially if you were a higher level at that time, when they first elevated and went 40 plus, and this was 2019, like December 2019, they released all this stuff, and what they found is a lot of high players, all they would do is go into the capital systems and grind for those BPs. They'd just be hitting thousands and thousands of hostiles and getting the ships for free. So they nerfed the drop rate in capital systems. So they don't drop an amazingly high amount like they used to. The best way to farm for a Newton is getting into like Warp 150 space or Warp 120 plus, really like Warp 150, getting those deeper regions of faction space. So you can do that as like a level 42 or 44 and work on BPs that way. And it's usually going to be more productive than doing it through the capital systems. But if you're like a level 39 player and you've got a maxed out auger or a tier 8 auger in Pipe Road Chen, or you're also running like the Bev crew that we talked about, the punching up crew, or whatever it is you're running, you can grind some of those prints early on as a mid-level player, which is pretty nice. Just the speed route is going to be better in deep faction space than it is in the capital system, all because back in the day, high spenders and high levels had figured that out. Insane says, I've gotten 33 Kelvin BPs and 42 Hydra BPs in the last 2 weeks from Sol. That is an insane amount, pun intended on your name. How many ships have you hit? That's awesome. Update to that. It's pretty dope. It's the best way to get either the Romulans or the Klingons to not hate you, so you go spend their credits. The best way trucking is dual faction grounds. You always have 2 of them, and you can lock them at 10 million. So if you were unaware, the rep in the game will lock at 10 million, 1 billion, and 15 billion. So you can make them all positive, thus they'll all like you. And I have that on my main account. I'm tri-faction locked, meaning at 10 million, they're all positive. And I'm working on getting 2 of them to the 1 billion lock. And then I'll go back and rescue the 3rd. Dang, insane. That's a lot of rep. What ops level do you start to refine 4-star uncommons? I'll be level 41. Start getting the uncommons then. Level 41. There's a difference in hitting traders, explorers, or etc. for Newton VPs. Nope. It's just the level and faction. You're not going to necessarily get more by going and hitting battleships. No math that I've seen has confirmed that. I know that there's been people who've said that, but I've never actually seen a study and math that supports that. It's out there. It's never been shared with me, but it could be. Off topic, I wish Scopely would do some kind of $20 skins for the motion picture movies. The Mayflower would be the USS Reliant. Enterprise would get a refit skin, and so on. I agree with you, but if they just made them skins, that means they could make them ships. Maybe I want them to make them into ships. Maybe I want that. Fed space only drop Fed BPs? Correct, Alden. So if you wanted to farm for Abortus, the Klingon level 28 uncommon ship, you can only get that by farming in Klingon space. And the first thing new players are going to say is, well, that's going to make them hate me. Correct, it will. This is a thing that you can do if you're not positive with that faction. Because if you have the number of blueprints, even if that faction hates you, you can still build the ship. Federation could hate my guts, but if I've got all 350 blueprints for a Newton, I can build it at level 40. 1,500 traders in Sol in the past week. Got 17 Hydra, 18 Kelvin, 9 Newton. Okay, real quick, we're going to do some math because you actually brought numbers. Wow. Okay, so Petey, in terms of his Newton BP pull, 0.5% of the boxes that you pulled gave you a Newton. You had a 0.5% chance. 0.5%. I think 1,500 is a good number. If we're doing trade, now that doesn't count towards the box because that doesn't tell me how many boxes you got. That is how many traders. That means you got a 0.5% chance, right at what you ended up averaging at, and that sounds about right. Loot box, yeah. So if you're going to get, usually you get at least a 50% loot box drop. Yours is a little bit lower, so that sounds about right. You said you got 623 loot boxes. So 1.4%. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And that's lower than higher systems, I believe. Also, I need to go repair that. That's going to go boom on the other account. I'll try farming 150, 170 range. Yeah. And by the way, if anybody does find some math that contradicts it, send it to me. I'm only going by what I personally do with like my Valdor and comparing, and then what we've had in the past. And like, the thing is that the game will update things and change things in the background. They've said this before. They will change drop rates. They will change refinery rates, etc. Like RNG of it. They won't change the tables. Let me clarify. So they almost never change the loot table. It's like what is available never changes almost ever. But they've openly talked about in the past, they will adjust the RNG. So, which is the random number generator. So how often something drops. So it's very possible things that we thought before have changed drastically based on them updating things that we don't even know they update. Like we know they update the economy because we can see more uncommon and stuff in an event. You never really see what system drops blueprints, or I mean, in terms of like a percentage. So I think the rates in Sol haven't really changed, but they could have. The rates are similar in Sol this time to what I got in Kronos for Klingon ships. See, Kronos is a capital system. So if the logic is that they've dropped the drop rate in capital systems, then we'd have to compare it to other systems. So like you'd have to farm 2,000 traders in say Warp 150 and then 2,000 traders in Sol. So fed Warp 150, then Sol, and then compare the drop rates on those 2,000 hits, which hopefully similar number of boxes. Just get to 500 boxes each, say. And if anybody wants to work on this as a project, I'd actually love to know the numbers, but I would need help because I can't do all that myself. That's ridiculous. But I would actually really enjoy seeing the math. We could actually give you a concrete answer that yes, you need to go grind over here. Yeah, I mean, the Sol nerfing was, I think, 2 years ago at this point. Just unlocked Wayun and already have Pawn. Any recommendations for who to put in place Ikatika until I unlock him? So Jonah, what a lot of people do is they actually run Wayun by himself with like TOS Kirk and TOS Uhura to counter critical builds and then use Wayun's ability. That's what I found be very common lately. What are you buying with your tokens from the event? Officers Randall. Yeah. So right now I've got the baby account pulled up, but generally officers is almost always going to be my answer. Refits can be really good because they count as researches and they all stack. Those can be good, but yeah. You know, common crystal, just need to get that off your chest. Mark, I feel you, which is one of the reasons that that pack they put out for a holiday pack is so daggum tempting. Again, I'm not pushing their pack. It just is. It's rare for me to sit here and say like, holy crap, it's a good pack. It's very rare for me to say that. Been working on Stellar research, but I'm currently wondering what a good M score is for 39. Minimum 80. You can hit 100-ish, but 80 is kind of where you want to focus on being if you're 39. That's where I would tell you to be in terms of quote unquote good. But don't be discouraged. I mean, you've got plenty of time. Like, I went into the 40s with my M score at about where you are, and it definitely hurt me. It cost me more in the game because I didn't have enough stuff put into the research and things like that. So at least 80. Petey says that's what I figured. I was curious what it was. I was one bill locking fed, so I tracked in Kronos with very similar results in Sol. So then the only thing to compare, Petey, would be is if you did the same experiment. So we know Sol, Kronos, and Romulus all had their rates nerfed at one point, and this is when the first level 40 ascension happened. They got nerfed then because Scopa didn't like that players were getting all these ships for free. And y'all got to remember, like back in the day, you know, if you're here who's level 46, you can probably reasonably get up to 75,000 faction credits a month, maybe more, especially if you're a spender, definitely more. You couldn't do that back in the day, so they were like, oh my god. We would make them buy faction credit packs to get these ships, but instead they're grinding them. So it was like, kill the nerf rate or drop it. And for all those wondering, how do I know that what happened? Well, former community manager told me directly. So either they were wrong or that's But, and I get it too. When it first came out, that made sense. I'm curious if it's changed though, because we can't say that Scopely hasn't made changes in the player's favor and they never said anything. And it like blows my mind. I'll be like, how the heck could you have done such a positive change and not said anything about it? They've done it several times. What M score would I be at 34? What, 40-ish, everybody? For 34 from 40-ish? What brand and model is my mic? This is a Shure SM7B. Shure SM7B. SHURE SM7B. So Shure is the brand, SM7B is the how big it is. You know what I mean. Yeah. That's the model. Hey, what's up, Lord Asp? How you doing? Lord Asp was like content creator for a day in our channel. Just them bringing the knowledge the other day. I'm gonna launch another one of these here on the account y'all can't see. And then back over here to blow up our Indra. Your score is 142 out of 160, level 49. You're doing good, Robert. Congrats. That's awesome. I'm tempted to switch over my account to show y'all my M score on the baby account, or I'm sorry, on the main account, but I don't want y'all shaming me. We've been having such a good day. Is there a benefit to keeping the Franklin and not scrapping it for the A? No. Because the Franklin A will do your dailies for the Franklin. So the Franklin A stands alone. Franklin A is one of the very few things they did that I think was a fantastic way to introduce new content over old content. Now, the only reason to have a regular Franklin is if you're one of those people that just likes collecting and having. And if that's the case, then you do want to have a Franklin, but I would say get a second one. Get a second one instead of just holding on to your original and using like a Vin store currency for a Franklin A. Just go ahead and get the Franklin A. Scrap it. Anyone wants to know a good M score for their ops equals more. Just keep pulling every 3 days. Keep building and scrapping Stellas. Look here, Brian. As the king of the I don't have time for the Stella fund. No. But yeah, you are right. It should always be as high as it can be. But we're talking about what's being effective for your level. It is, people like to have a general idea. Keep in mind that the average player I deal with is tired of, the 4,000 things to do in the game every day. So I don't want to tell somebody that they've got to do Stella every day. I don't want to tell people that. But I get where you're coming from. And for anybody willing to be the most efficient possible, yeah, max out your Stella research and keep it high priority. Maybe scrap too, though, but I have like 600,000 Stella gunk. Still use them. You really, really should work on that more, Hellbot. Like, my M score is higher, and I'm king of the Ignore It Club. All right, I'm going to swap over to the main account real quick. Swap over the main account real quick. I've already done that. So I'm gonna do this for y'all, man. The Twitch crew really got on to me for not doing this. We'll start, I'm not gonna do it right now, never mind. I use it for the discovery. I actually use a crew preset there. See, that's one of my things, Mac, is I can even understand there being a grind because the Stella is a grind. You know what else is a grind? The Defiant and the Bajoran faction is a grind. I don't know if y'all have noticed. The time that you have to invest in the Bajoran faction and the Defiant is about the same as the Stella. But the Bajoran one is so much more fun. Like the Bajoran faction and its grind is fun. Like it's enjoyable. Like you can actually just go out there and enjoy what you're doing with the armadas and even the grinding. That's not the case with Stella. Stella is just boring because you're relying on other people or you're doing it solo one ship with a specific crew and it's copy paste and over. And there's actually variance to the entire faction of Bajor. Like it's not just constantly doing it for the scrapping mechanic. There's other benefits there. There's officer sourcing there. And I realize that you do technically have that with Rogue, but who uses it? You technically have material sourcing with Rogue, but who uses it? Like who maxed out their Stella? Their Stella's researched out and is now still scrapping Stellas to go do the material turn-in box. Nobody. At least nobody I know. So there's just a fun level to the Bajor and Dominion stuff that I wish would have come with the Stella. So, I can solo a 37 Eclipse Armada. Nice and safe. I think best I can do is like the low 30. Happy Hanukkah. What day of Hanukkah is it right now, Sean? Bajoran grind is fun because when you get the credits diplomacy tokens, you can click on the one you want and you have it. You don't have to continually scrap the Defiant. Yes. It's the first night. I wasn't sure if this was the first night or not. So happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate Hanukkah. Speaking of solo models, I could do 2 uncommon 40s in a row. Nice, Dennis. Very nice. Can you do it with the loot crew? Yeah, that's what we need to know. I didn't dual grind, found out about too late, so I am full in Romulan at almost 6 million faction points. Maxed out my Legionary and level 5 Centurion. How do I get the Gladiators for stronger ships? Gotta BP farm them. So Johnny, the simple answer is going to be when you're gunning close to 32, you'll use faction credits to do it. And secondary option, and I try to remind people of this every day, away team store. If you're doing your away team store, so you'll end up, officer tray, I gotta do that. But you'll get this token right here. Lead Expedition is a great way to get it. You get the away team credit. you can use away team credits to also get blueprints in your away team store. So those are the two primary ways that I would encourage you to focus on getting all of those. Okay. Hold on. Didn't we look that I could start? I can. Oh, you got two. Burnham's got one. Let's see. So that's impulsive. So who's patriotic? Oh, Changeling, Kira, and Burnham are a combo in heaven on this. All right. I need a. Changeling, Kira. Okay, I've got to. So if I take that, I'm gonna save some for Burnham. Put there 10%. Okay. All right, so that was uncompromising. So if we do impulsive, let's see my Burnham upgrade. Go. Remember when Rev said Miles was a spy? Yeah, I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. All right. Now let's do that. Honestly, I can live with that. Let's see. What is this? A 1 day? I gotta do Solar Armada, so I can't tie that up. Let's use Vemit. So this also will give me a chance to get those as well. If I'm doing both that one and Lead Expedition, I could do multiple pulls for the Pylum, for the Coronar, etc. The away team store is. I just get yeah, see, that's what happens when I turn the stream on. That's definitely Big E. Oh well. We'll do other things. What are your thoughts on Dak so far? Neutral. I think that she's a good replacement. It's like if you have to put a third with Cisco Miles on an Armada, good answer. Good answer. But because I really hate the SLB, I haven't been going for her. Let me go take a look at it. Yeah, Brian, I haven't encouraged her to ever get used for anything but away teams, but I did inadvertently spend a little, but let's see where the leaderboard's at. So top players at 15 million. Definitely not. Definitely not. And Dr. Juby, congrats on maxing Nero. Mark, I don't know if the leaderboard brackets will change back. All I can say is players, please, 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 please keep sending in your feedback on that. Please keep telling them that you want the old leaderboards back for the lower levels. I'm not trying to change them for the higher levels because I do agree the leaderboards, especially in the upper 40s, mainly the 50s, 100% needed that leaderboard update. But it was so bad for everybody else. It was so bad for everybody else. Nero Pankirk is good. So if you look on my weights, this is actually what I'm running on that lead expedition. 65%, I'll get 6280, and that's what I'm running for that one. See, enemy, I wouldn't even say it was good for the 41s. I mean, it did put you on top of it's the 42s who really benefited, if you want to make that argument. And it's really tough to get all the way up to 42. It's tough to get up there. Oh, I'm the one that told you to run them? Nice, Dr. Juby. Well, you're welcome. I mean, credit has to be given. It was chat who helped me put that together anyway, because I wasn't originally running that. After maxing Trinity, who would you be next? 6 of 11 is actually somebody I would max before the Trinity now, just because of how the game has changed. But 6 of 11 is, if you haven't done him. How's a G4 miner supposed to compete with a G5? Logic. They need to make 35 to 50 be closer together than they are. Which one are you talking about specifically? 6 of 11 plus Kurt plus Cisco as cap is great on the Enterprise. That's a solid Enterprise group. Level 38, I have 500,000 away team credits saved up. Nick, what are you saving them for? Is there a ship or something specifically you're going for? That reminds me, I need to pull all these real quick. Last one's mechanic with spin master upgrade, get some Wayun shards, etc. That should be the new form. I never thought I'd see the day we were asking for a heroic SMS and an XSLB to be the new standard. But yeah, if I had to compare that to what I have today, 100% make that the new standard. Let's see, when can I pull the pylum? Oh, not for 4 hours, man. But you can see it there. You can see I do it regularly. But you can also see, like, here's the Intrepid, and there's even rep in here if I want to do rogue rep. Or even Klingon Ramen. Though these exchanges are meh. 700k is okay. But you know, if Scopely has put any thought into the G4 epics, it feels like they are worthless and not worth the time / spend with the 53s. Smoke them. In terms of, like, are they going to make them better? I mean, they're still great. They just are pricey. If there was a cheaper way to get them, like through faction credits and everything, they'd still be worth getting. But the faction credit's the biggest argument against them. It's just the faction credits. Murder. Strike Team helped one of the G4 epics. The Tribune specifically really likes Strike Team. The Tribune really likes Strike Team. Let's put it that way. There are ships that benefited more from Strike Team than others, and the Tribune definitely benefited. Tribune kind of like almost cheated with how much it benefits. It's ridiculous. Level 39, the heroic was the same milestone as this non-heroic. Yeah, they're identical, and I made a video about that, complaining about this, and hopefully it gets changed. But I did make a video and everything, and we'll wait to hear back. But feedback is where it really comes down to. Like, my voice, I say this all the time, and I'm not saying it like, well, it's just the truth. My voice only matters because y'all support. It's like there's 300 people watching right now on a random Sunday night, the week before Christmas. Y'all have got to make your thoughts and needs known. If y'all don't, it doesn't matter if I say it. I'm just one player. I simply have a platform. My voice in itself is not any more powerful than anybody else's. So y'all have got to make sure that you're telling people, hey, I like this, I hate this, etc., and getting them to make changes. Less spin events, more fun. Well, spin events are there for a reason. And if the game doesn't make any money, the game doesn't exist. So there's a balance to be had there. Is the Amalgam better than Horizon at Tier 1? I mean, the Amalgam is pretty daggum nice. What are you trying to use it for? I mean, you definitely get the Amalgam. If nothing else, for the warp range you start getting access to, it's really nice. But I would say, yeah, you want to get all the specialty ships as quickly as you can. For raiding, yeah, the Amalgam's way better depending on what you're hitting. If you're running with the Horizon right now, even a maxed Horizon, you're running what, 600, 700,000, depending on officer loadouts and stuff. You would probably really enjoy investing in the Amalgam. Ducat's worth it? Ducat's okay. Full synergy strike teams are generally going to be the best answers as strike teams. If they drop the price on those packs, they'll probably spend more often, but now it stands as probably once every 6 months. I get it, Lord Ass. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of people who spend. A lot. Do you happen to know if the Horizon minor defense packs will come back soon? It's beyond ridiculous on server 74. I have no idea. You can get those for free. I wouldn't spend on them. Automated defenses to me were kind of a bust, but you can get them for free. Wait, the Horizon you can't. You can get the Antares and stuff for free. I forgot the Horizon's not in here yet. Still wouldn't like focus on going after them personally. But when you hit Pa strong, you can start turning them in here in the Bajoran faction. You have the best ideas and options on player experience. Well, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate the compliment. I do my best to try to give accurate and helpful information. They did release paid versions of the North Star and the Horizon. I have the Horizon. Again, I wouldn't tell people to like go spend money on them. Oh boy, what did I do? Whoops. Rev, stop clicking things. Rev has a maxed Horizon. Do I? I know I have a Horizon. Did I max it? I don't even remember. How you feeling about Picard Season 3? Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. That's the answer. Automated defenses gets used during wars here, so similar leveled folks leave your miner alone. I mean, I tested mine against an Antares, and my Max Enterprise took a huge hit. And Max Enterprise is pretty daggum strong. I mean, the automated defenses work. You're just kind of meh. Okay, GNAS, glad you're here. Hoping Locutus is the assimilated officer they release next year. They definitely hinted at one. I would love for Locutus to be that one. There's huge. It's not even a hint. It's talked about it being a commander. So, yeah. Idea about the next 20-day modified ultra recruit chest? Not at all. Honestly, I've never once asked about it. Romulans have a broken ship part system like Ursva and Groombridge 34. So that would be any level 40 system. I don't think they do. It'd have to be in this arm right here. I don't remember. Doesn't look like it. No. Doesn't look like it. I think they had a 40 lurking around. If they do, I don't remember where it's at. Or some are using automated defenses during territory capture on miners and ISO nodes. I mean, yeah, makes sense. But I don't ever fool with territory. Let's see. Seems like the next arc is Borg focused. That's what all the hints say. I know some people were saying things like Tholians. Because, you know, they talked about it being geometric shapes, and well, the Tholians, that was like a whole thing. But I really think that it's the Borg again. And the reason I think it's the Borg is actually be the 2-year anniversary. January will be 2 years since they launched a battle pass thing. And we didn't used to always have battle passes. It started in January 2020. So, and the first one we ever ran was the Borg. So it'd be a good thing to revisit and make good again. My Christmas gift to myself is going to Oz 53. I'm going to get my Vorcha. I'll be the third player on server 50 plus who've done that. Or third player on my server 50 plus. Your advice has been invaluable. Pete, that's awesome. Feel free to hit me up if you need any help. I would go ahead and say this. If you're going to purchase things to do that and make it happen, the winter special packs are the best value in the game at the moment. So, something to think about. Something to think about. If you're wanting to spend to make that happen. Obviously going to 53, I understand that you're a spender. But value-wise, those are amazing right now. We talked about the return of our favorite geometric themed species. I know. I can't tell you what the content is, but I'm saying the hints. There are multiple Borg hints. Anybody remember what that exocomp that was in the roadmap had on it? I remember what it had on it. So, saying they talked about a famous assimilated officer. And if you're going to make an epic commander or whatever you want to call it, that's being a fleet commander, Locutus literally was that. So I'm saying. Remember not having battle pass every month? Seems like so much longer ago than it was. I mean, it truly was a long, long time ago. It really was a long, long time ago. Would be good for the Borg if we need a major update for the Vidar A and better systems. I think the Borg needs an overhaul and more than that. Because even though the Vidar loop, in terms of the payout of the refinery, is good, the Borg was a huge flop. Like, Mega Cube was a massive flop. Nobody cared. Nobody really liked it. We only do it during events. The officers are good, but most of them didn't get released when the original art came out, like Borg Barrett and Borg T'Pring and Borg Ston. Those were released afterwards. And 5 of 11, 6 of 11 were two of the only ones that ever got used, except for very early players when it came to the Borg. So the storyline, though, and the arc itself as a story flopped. But it'd be great if we revisited that and changed that. Revisited and changed. Rev will be selling MBGA hats now. Who would buy it? Available in every color but red. It'd have to be black, a black hat with green lettering, right? It'd have to be. It'd have to be a black hat with green lettering. Borg and Augments need a revamp. Yeah, all the old content needs a revamp. All of it does. And to quicken the pace. And actually, if that's what they end up doing, it's a great time for me to be starting a new account. You know, it's like actually kind of fortuitous that I would start a new account now with all these things coming out. Gosh, what a time. What a time. Winky dinks are great. Who doesn't love a good coincidence? Amox 45 was a good tier to stop tiering the Valdor. Tier 5 at max, tier 6. You don't really need it past that. If you want to do it, you can. If you want to do it, you can. But mine, doing everything I need at tier 5, it's Warp 150. I mean, the only thing that I'm going to really struggle at is bigger armadas and PvP. Ever going to be a Q officer? I don't know. You want 2 of 10 as the longest comeback story in the text info in game, as far as I can see. Seems odd. I really don't know if there's anything behind that. I don't know. I really don't. I started a second account 1.5 years ago. Onboarding is so much better now. If y'all want to come join me on server 92, feel free. It's a very different game. And I think in a good way, it's different. And for those who are like, well, I don't have time. Believe it or not, you probably do. So that would, if you backed up 30 minutes from your main account onto your second account, you'd probably enjoy the second account. You know, it's just because you're progressing so much faster. You know, it's just natural. I know it's RNG, but I was really hoping for a better pull than that. I gotta go mine more. I'm glad they turned the services on though. I get an extra pull in today. And down here, trying to get as much ISO emulsion every day as I can because I've been flying through that tree. Flying through that tree. Let's see. Who was the Borg Klingon general and Voyager who commanded the cube in the Borg Rebellion? That's a Star Trek trivia question. I don't know. Did he have a name? Like, was he named? If so, that's a Star Trek trivia question that Rev does not know. I'm curious the answer to that as well. And did you really lead if you're the Borg though too? Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Badgie. Love it. Love it. The Wrath of Badgie. Badgie is an amazing part of all Star Trek lore. I was going to say Lower Decks, but honestly, Badgie's good everywhere. It wasn't Hugh, David. Hugh's not Klingon. In the Googler, it says Korok. Nice. It's level 41 or 42 when you get extra warp range. So Omega, it is a research that you get access to through a mission called Angel in Disguise, level 42. And I covered that in my video about that on this channel. So if you want to know how to get to the mission, how to do the mission, everything, check out Rev's video about Angel in Disguise. I had a second account up until 2020. Gave it up as 2 accounts was becoming too much. Started a second account the other week, and it's not that bad at under 10. There you go, Dennis. Now, where are you at, Dennis? Not with us on 92, are you? Are you with us on 90? 92? Are you with? Or are you against? I am enjoying. Next arc is going to be Star Trek First Contact, the movie. Well, Locutus wasn't in that. So that would mean that you think the officer is the Borg Queen. Or Data. Does Data's little skin graft count? Does that count? Oh my goodness. I started a second account in April 2020 to play on 43, but just didn't have the time anymore. No, I get it, Andy. I do. Especially with the state of the game now. But the way I phrase it to people is like, honestly, it's kind of worth it to take a step back from your main a little bit and just enjoy an account. So, are they ever going to create a con from the second movie? Possibly. I can't say yes or no, but, you know, possibly. Picard have flashbacks to Locutus? Yeah, but if they're making an officer based on flashbacks, I'm not real confident for the story building of that arc. Not real confident. Dr. Juby says aroused Data, yes. Hey, this is Twitch, Dr. Juby. Calm it down. Twitch, that's where we get all crazy. We're not that crazy over here, man. Chill out. Chill. They mentioned the movies in the roadmap? Did they? Cardboard, while they had control of the couple episodes, the next Borg officer. Be nice. You can see movie-based arcs. I've not talked about that this year at all. Second account for farming. Farming what? Picard versus Locutus storyline. I wouldn't put it past Copley. If they're going to do anybody versus anybody, what if they did Picard versus Shinzo? Maybe the Borg event in January for 2-year anniversary will be the revamp for Borg Picard. You know, it'd be funny if they release Borg Picard and it's still easier to get him than getting regular Picard. Not gonna lie, the irony would be hilarious. Would be hilarious. You try Strategy World Pike and Hammer with Kelvin Kirk on the Enterprise, it kills heavy traders and capital. That'll depend entirely on your ability to stat stack and everything. I'd say most players probably can't do that effectively. But have I personally done it? No, but just knowing the math, I think that'd be limited to some people. Zephyr Cochrane, Warp Range Expansion Officer. Tyler, as much as I love the history of Star Trek and that you brought it up, Zephyr Cochrane would not be a help to the Enterprise. So, just because you pioneered warp doesn't mean you can help me get to transwarp. Finally, dual faction grinding and getting a lot more repairs. Oh, see, this is why I love dual faction. You'll never be short of repairs if you get dual faction going. Here's how dumb this game is. To get the next Starbase ship XP research to tier 7, you need R&D at 32 and territory piercing in tier 7. Know what you need to get territory piercing in tier 5? R&D 47. The more you know. That's the first time I've read stuff like that. But should I go for the refit skin, for the mature, or Odo? Out of those two, I'd say Odo. Out of those two things, I'd say Odo. So, I've created my second account and enjoying the second, but not so much as my main account. It takes a lot of time. So yeah, my secondary, I mean, there's stuff for me to do, but it's nice because there's not things that I have to do. Like right now, I've got to do this for Bejor, and I don't mind Bejor. But I do mind when I have to do what I'm doing for Eclipse, when I've still got to go do it for Borg, etc. So right now, I'm grinding through things I have to do. What's really nice on my new account is I don't have to do any of those things. I just play the game, I do what I got to do, and then I'm socializing on server 92 more than I'm doing gameplay. That's not how it is on server 20. I'm not spending more time socializing. I've got to actually go click buttons. Buttons must be mashed. Buttons must be mashed. How much do I need to turn in every day? Dang it, I got an hour before I can see. Anybody know off the top of your head how much you've got to turn in at Favored to get your triple box for Bejor? Anybody know? Zephyr allows you to drink alcohol while playing STFC and not screw it up. Yikes, Sean. So he gives you a shield. Dang, in me. 2328. 1,000. It's not 16.2, Ed. I know it's higher than 16. 23,000? That sounds right. Favored light bill. Favored. So Bajor, I was trying to wonder, because I can't see for an hour, what the triple pull, because I always try to triple pull that one, what it was. Your triple pull is 11K? Jeez, Hellbringer. Yeah, okay, you're true. Ops level as well. Ops 45, favored. Ops 45. I think it's 23K-ish for where I'm at. Omega's at where I'm at. What's the fastest way for dual fed ROM faction lock? Grinding your ever-loving butt off. Answer you don't want to hear, but also the truth. Grinding your ever-loving butt off. Wrong one. Yeah, not the answer you want, but the truth. You got to hit a crap ton of hostiles. A crap ton. Go hit 1,500 a day. Don't stop hitting hostiles. Just keep going. When you think, hey, have I hit enough hostiles? You haven't. Keep going. The bad thing about starting over is I went past so many systems while advancing. I missed which systems had missions in, which Captain, it's honestly not too hard to find those. It's not too bad. Kill Klingons. Kill everything. Kill everything. Don't forget Cochrane's Ooby Dooby power. I really want to go watch First Contact. I wish we could stream movies, Star Trek movies, without fear of repercussion on my Discord, and I would. I would love to watch Star Trek movies with some of y'all. Like, just to sit down and have a community night. We need to figure out how we can do that together. Sit down and have a community night and we watch Star Trek together. I've done it a couple times, not on my Discord server, obviously. Yeah. Should we worry about locking at 1 bill? You would like to lock 1 bill around 46. I would say before you're heading up to level 50. When I would at least have it done. Haven't had to farm Jim'Hadar since they came out, as I went and farmed 500,000 animated units before they dropped the cost. You're a smart boy. Watch Party is on Amazon, but I guess I don't know how many of the Star Trek movies are available for that on Amazon. I can take a look real quick. Let's see. Star Trek. It'd only be the movies that would potentially be available on Amazon Video. Where do I find Amazon Video? Let's check Amazon Video. Prime Video, whatever you want to call it. All right, let me see what Star Trek I could actually. I could do a watch party for Black Adam, which I actually enjoyed Black Adam. I know I shouldn't say that. I actually enjoyed Black Adam. All right, Star Trek. Okay, so the new movies are there. Are the old ones? So motion pictures unavailable. I don't have Paramount Plus trial for this. Unavailable. Insurrection's unavailable. Okay, so Wrath of Khan. I'd have to buy it before I could stream it. So I don't think there's any on Amazon I could do besides the new ones. Like I could do Into Darkness. Like a watch party for Into Darkness. But yeah. Something for us to look into. I would love to do that together. HBO Max has the movies, but so the reason we were pointing to Amazon is they have the watch party feature, which would be a legal way for me to watch with y'all. That's why I was looking there. 38 stars from you, but not sure if I'll get enough catch up before the end of the event. I can't tell you specifically how much you're getting. So I'm not sure. Why do people hate on Black Adam? I'll be honest, Romy, there are definitely huge problems with Black Adam. For me, it was about 30 minutes too long. Like, I love an action movie, but it was just too much action. It did not focus enough on the actual demon. That was a flaw of Black Adam. I do think The Rock did a really good job portraying his character, but Sabak did not get near enough screen time. It focused way too much on the backstory of like the baddie who ends up becoming Sabak. Sabak needed way more screen time. There was too many pointless fights for people that we really didn't care too much about. And there were just little things that could have done better. And now that Henry Cavill is not coming back as Superman, it makes the end credit scene that you end up seeing really disappointing. I liked Black Adam, but it definitely had some flaws that I think were just easy to adjust that they didn't. And it sucks because honestly, it's probably the DC movie I've enjoyed the most in the last 5 years. But all the Star Trek movies on HBO Max right now, they're also all on Paramount Plus. Like I've got Paramount Plus. Like I can watch whatever Star Trek. I was trying to find ways that we could share Star Trek together. Cavill's doing Warhammer on Amazon. So Cavill's a huge nerd. Like for those that don't know, Henry Cavill is a legitimate nerd just because he's built like a jock. I mean, he's a huge nerd. And DC kind of did him pretty dirty. DC did him kind of pretty dirty. So he's no longer The Witcher because Netflix did him dirty. Now he's no longer Superman because DC and Gunn did him dirty. So James Gunn did him real dirty. Cavill's doing the Warhammer thing. Yeah, I mean, I do think he's gonna. His naming power alone is going to help Warhammer be successful, but he got hosed by both Netflix and whoever's running the DCEU. And Amazon is throwing out stupid money to projects lately. So Barman says it's not a hard cut movie for a supervillain character. Snyder would have made it way more hardcore and got a better review if he hadn't been stone rolled out by a certain somebody. He has an EP on Warhammer, so he should have more control over it. Yeah, correct. Which is actually one of the reasons that I actually thought that Black Adam was good, was I thought The Rock as an EP helped make sure that the character Black Adam was strong enough in terms of like his presence and everything. You were so disappointed with Black Adam that I was okay leaving the movie with my son. Got sick 30 minutes in. Wow. I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, the whole James Gunn, and if y'all remember, part of The Rock getting Black Shazam and agreeing to do Black Shazam, which technically, yeah, but Black Adam, and doing all that was that he wanted Henry Cavill part of the universe. Like that was part of the reason that he signs the dotted line. So all of that just completely wasted now, apparently. All the TMP stuff was on Hulu last year until Paramount took them all back, which is understandable because one of the only, from what I've been told, the only profitable things on Paramount Plus is Star Trek. Almost everything on Paramount Plus is flopping, from what I've been told. So, will this pool give us a Warhammer 40K or a Warhammer we did good enough 12K? Maybe you'll get a Warhammer 56K. Yeah. What up? Just got here. I have to go back and rewatch. You will, Stream Lord, because we are, dang, we're an hour and almost 20 minutes in. I got my Mantis and the Enterprise through this arc, by the way. I forgive Scopely for all their sins. Nice, Victor. Will you forgive them next month when we're here again? How long will you be forgiven? On all 4 in the UK? Not familiar with that channel. Oh, we're spotting one of my people on the Discord. All the goofy goobers. Hey, Prey Fox, how are you? I started watching Tulsa King with Stallone on Paramount, and it's good so far. I watched a recent movie with Stallone that was basically just, dang, what was that movie with Liam Neeson? Taken. It was basically just Taken. Except the girl died and he went revenge mode. He went Rambo. It's like if you put the depression of Rambo in Taken. That was the movie. I don't even remember what it was called. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was just like, take the premise of Taken where the good guy wins and make the good guy lose. Oh, it actually was a Rambo movie? I didn't remember. And make it Rambo. I was like, okay. I didn't remember that was a Rambo movie. It was just depressing. And then a lot of action, but depressing. So that was Rambo. Yeah, makes sense now. Rambo's really a depressing series. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy's great at killing people, but why is his life so damn depressing? Heard they may be starting Star Trek to try and stay afloat. Paramount Plus is not doing well that way. Kung Fu Hustle is hilarious. It's hilarious. People run shows for DC to take a handful of pumpkin seeds? That's random. The Stallone supervillain movie was really good. See, I thought it was okay. I think they made him more into an anti-hero at the end, but I thought it was okay. I don't know if it was great. I thought it was okay. House 41, how high should I take the jelly? The ISS jelly? Not high. Tier 4, Tier 5 at the absolute highest. Honestly, you really don't even need it past Tier 1. You really just want it for the event. Just as the game has progressed, less reason to go after it. But Tier 2 you can get completely free without spending any uncommon. But kind of up to you there. Have you seen Avatar 2 yet? Nope. I thought Avatar 1 was the most overrated movie of all time. Am I saying that Avatar is bad? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that Avatar is bad. Like, the first Avatar wasn't bad. But people make out the first Avatar as like this amazing story that was the greatest thing ever. And it is not. Avatar's okay. It's not a bad movie at all. Man, the fact that Avatar 2 has gotten like 500 million in its first day is insane to me. And I've heard nothing but how the second Avatar is great, even though it's 3.5 hours long. I've heard nothing but how great it is. But the first one was just so overrated. I can run speed cruise on my tier 2 and tier 3 jellies and finish brawl in less than a hole each. Nice, no. That's pretty effective. I'm gonna say Avatar 2, be excited to see it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I just thought the first one was overrated. Avatar equal Dances with Wolves. That's a very old reference. Also a member of the Avatar's Way Overrated Club. And again, I'm not saying it's not bad. It's just overrated. Like, I don't understand the consistent hype around Avatar as a movie. Let's see. Avatar story met everything else. Now, I will say visually, Avatar's for its time. Okay, so if you go watch the original Avatar now, it's not way too insane. But for its time, I get it being like ridiculously amazing. Looking at it. And they said that this next one is also the same vein. So. But anyway, I'll rewatch the first one and then I'll go watch the second one. First Avatar brought on the resurgence in 3D cinema. Nice. Great CGI, mess story. See, that's one thing. If you have seen the new Avatar, all I want to know is the story better than the first one? Because if it's 3.5 hours, I don't know if I can do 3.5 hours and the story's not better. I need to know, is the story better? A lot of people have to wait to be told what to think. I think there's some truth to that, Nuts. James Cameron doesn't do what James Cameron does for James Cameron. James Cameron does what James Cameron does because James Cameron is James Cameron. So Resist says, yes, the story is absolutely better. Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to give it a try no matter what. But if it's 3.5 hours, the story better be good. What's a good crew for the Mayflower? For what purpose, Prey Fox? What are you trying to do with it? What are you trying to do with it? CGI means nothing if the story sucks? Some truth. Some truth. I think CGI still helped out DS9 when the story was pretty awful early on. Avatar is a hell of a lot better than The Hurt Locker, which won Best Picture. Okay. I mean, opinions are fine. 3D effects of Avatar through my VR is awesome. I don't have VR, so the new Avatar is not good. It's another propaganda piece. Hot takes. Hot takes. Propaganda against blue people. I mean, what is there like a political message that I'm missing? Because hey, Fern Gully was propaganda against deforestation, and you know what? Hell yeah, I love Fern Gully. I will take my propaganda. Thank you. I'm okay with propaganda. Give me all of it. Starship Troopers is a parody of propaganda, and also amazing. And also amazing. Well, look at Marvel. They become all CGI with terrible story. Who wouldn't agree with that? There's some amazing story in Marvel. There's just a lot of Marvel. Like the story in Loki and even just the Hawkeye series. Story was fantastic. I mean, I'm not saying there hasn't been some bad. Like the Scarlet Witch movie was okay story. It wasn't good. I mean, it's an amazing Marvel story. Fern Gully was awesome. Feed me all the Fern Gully. Talk about story. Oh, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Love us some. This is a Fern Gully fan club here. In fact, if I can pick an IP to be added to Star Trek Fleet Command, I want to add Fern Gully. Just pick a random planet on in Intrigue. I hope there's a planet that looks like Fern Gully here. Yeah, I want to go to OP Epic. And this is where Fern Gully takes place. This is what I want in Star Trek Fleet Command. I want Fern Gully at OP Mech. Was a good crew for a newborn mantis. Newborn mantis, I would say 5, Gorkon 4 if you have it. Just to get some hull breach with those critical builds that we running early on. But you still want to get as many things in that below belly as you can. The cargo is always big for a new mantis. Again, who do you have? You despise the ending of Thor Love and Thunder. I miss the old dark stories with genuine threat rather than some guy with a sword who's really powerful. I mean, you do get that. Like, that's the story of Loki. I mean, that's the entire setup for the quantum realm that we're about to go into. There's been plenty dark. Thor Love and Thunder isn't supposed to be dark. Thor Love and Thunder was supposed to basically build off Ragnarok. So it just depends on which one you're watching. I mean, Scarlet Witch is hella dark. Like, the theme of Scarlet Witch is very dark. There's definitely dark stories still going on in Marvel. Thor Love and Thunder was not great. No. Ragnarok's still the best by far of the Thor movies. 100% agree. All right. I've got Miles at tier 4. Does he work with Pike? Yes, he does. And Picard, for that matter. Both Pike and Picard work on Miles. Are you scrapping anything other than level 26 ships? Level 26 ships, Stellas. Level 26 ships and Stellas. That's all I really am scrapping. So, really hope they don't mess up Kang the Conqueror. In the comics, he would defeat Thanos with a tap. If they nerf him, I'll be very upset. I mean, same. Well, we'll see how it is. Obviously, no matter what, they've done a really good job of surviving. We're going to wrap, guys. If y'all haven't joined the Discord already, encourage you to. If y'all haven't hung out with us in a while, encourage you to. I'm going to wrap up for today. We got videos coming out tomorrow. I do still need to make a Bad Crew video. And if y'all want to, send me Bad Crew submissions in the Discord. And we'll make some of those here. I plan on at least making one video. It's honestly not the most important video we have to make, but it's become such a staple to the channel. I haven't done it in like 3 months. So let's do that together. Let's make one of those videos. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I'll see y'all on the Discord. Live long and prosper, everybody. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuce, that's me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I enjoyed it as always. Y'all are awesome. Howdy. Let me find the outro. It looks like this.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.